The first tessellation technique is called a translation. The translation is when you're going to slide your pieces across, and also when you're making your grid, you're going to be sliding your tessellation over or sliding it up and down. And so on our piece, our stencil, the first thing we need to do is design it. I'm going to show you with numbers where the pieces are going to go right off the bat to help you imagine it. So there's a number 1 here and a number 1 here. They're going to be right next to each other. And I'm going to put a number 2 here and a number 2 here. This piece is going to move to this side. This piece is going to move to this side. Let me show you now just with the actual stencil drawing. If these numbers help you, put them on your paper, on your cardboard. If they're not a help, if you completely understand, you can go without. You're going to go from one point to the other point with this first one, and we're going to just make a design. So I'm going to come up here, and I go right to that corner. So now I have one edge drawn, and over here I'm going to draw my next one, and I'm going to make it a little more pointed. Make sure you're going from the corners, otherwise it won't make too much sense. If you want both lines to be wavy or both lines to be pointy, feel free to do that. After I have the line drawn from 2's point to the other point, and from 1's point to the other point, we go ahead and we cut them. So here are my scissors, and do your best to follow the lines. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you do need to hit those corners, so I need to pay attention right here to where I'm cutting on the edge of the corner. The straighter it is, the easier your life is. So take your time with it. Nice easy cutting. I need that piece up here to be all one. To the edge. So there's the first 2. And now this corner. I go from this corner, and I'm going to follow the line I drew. All the way to the other corner. So here it is all laid out, and what I'm going to do is move 2 to 2 and 1 to 1. Comes over here, match up your corners. The better it's matched up, the easier everything will be. So there, it's really nice and matched up. I have the 2 number 1s right by each other. Piece of tape, and I lay it right across there. And the 2 is going to come down here, matching the corners as best I can. Not quite right. And there we go. And I put a piece of tape on it. Mine is sticky on the back, so I'm going to put a piece on the back. Once you have it for sure nice and perfectly straight, I'd recommend putting tape on the back as well. It'll just keep that stencil stronger and keep it from ripping, because you're going to be tracing it on your final project. You're going to be tracing it quite a few times. Okay, so I've got tape all the corners. So now you can take it to your grid, and we're going to do the translation. We're going to just slide it across to trace. Make sure you watch first and then can work on it. Right here is my corner. See how there's that original corner exactly as it was on the cardboard? That's where I'm going to match it up right here. I can try and match up these points, but it's going to be difficult to do, right? Or if I try and fit this in, it's larger than the square. So I like to go ahead and take it and move those corners so that it fits just so. You can use those lines, should be straight, and that should help this be straight as well. Once you have it lined up, you need to hold it steady. You know your tracing skills by now. You hold it and you go around it. You'll be using pencil, of course. I just use my markers, so the video is really, hopefully, much nicer to see. And I go all the way around every single side. This is my third side. I've got one more to go. And remember to hold that stencil nice and straight. Don't want it moving around. And now let's see what it looks like. So there's my design. For the translation, I'm going to just move my paper so you can see, and I'm going to just go down and trace it again. I haven't rotated, I shouldn't be turning it over. I take it exactly like it was and I slide it down one. Because my paper is smaller, just like yours, I am going off the edge, but as long as I can tell it's straight on that line, it's going to still fit together just fine. And I'll show you one where I go to the side too. This line I've already traced. You can always go over it again just in case, but I want to save a little time. Now I can pick it up and we can see what it looks like. I should be able to pick it up. There we go. And I would take that same design from here and slide it this direction. Let me move the camera for you. Better. And look, now it's lined up exactly how I want it to be without even trying, and I'm just matching this little edge. And I trace it. You would then fill in your whole paper this way, just sliding it left and right and sliding it up and down. No rotating, and making sure it fits in that corner so that your pieces all fit together when you're done. And that is your translation. So there are 3 on mine. And you can see how it would develop like a whole puzzle. Go ahead and begin your translation, tessellation.